Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we'll learn about 10 signs people secretly find you attractive. Now, let's begin. Are you an attractive person? Well, we all want to know what others think about us, but it's not easy to determine how attractive someone really is. What makes us attractive varies based on where we are, how we behave, and the preferences of the people around us. One day, someone may find you irresistible. The next day, you may not be their type. Now, does that mean you're attractive? Well, maybe and maybe not. We know that attractiveness varies from person to person. There's no concrete list of what makes a person attractive. If you were to ask 20 people which qualities that they find most appealing, you might get 20 different answers. Despite how cryptic and mysterious attraction can be, we know it when we feel it. Even if we can't describe why we like someone, we know when someone grabs our attention from across the room and makes our hearts beat faster. In other words, we don't always know what qualities make people attractive, but we can measure how people react and behave when attraction strikes. Attraction is, after all, a largely social experience. Even though preferences vary wildly, the ways we express attraction are somewhat consistent. We tend to fall back on a small bank of habits and behaviors either to grab someone's attention or connect with them on a deeper level. So if you know what to look for, these behaviors can be pretty easy to find, but there's one big problem. People sometimes go to great lengths to mask their interests and to hide their feelings. They may be interested in you, but for one reason or another, they don't want you to know. There's a good chance that people you already know are more attracted to you than they're willing to admit. So how do you know which people in your life, if any, are secretly attracted to you? In this video, we're going to figure out how to decipher the secret signals of attraction. As it stands, you may not know how attractive you are. Maybe you're worried that other people don't like you as much as you hope. But if you notice these subtle signs of attraction, you may be more desirable than you think. Number 1. The attraction zone. Do people sit or stand too close to you? Attractive individuals have problems maintaining their personal space. People tend to get uncomfortably close, crossing into what's known as the attraction zone. Just think about your personal space as 3 concentric zones. The outermost zone is occupied by people that you don't really know, like acquaintances or strangers. The second zone is reserved for people you know but don't necessarily want to be intimate with, like friends or coworkers. Now, the innermost zone, also known as the attraction zone, belongs to close friends and romantic partners. The boundaries between these zones can sometimes get blurry, but we can generally use personal space to understand how people feel about each other. If someone says they like you but tend to keep their distance, their feelings may not be as strong as they say. On the other hand, if someone you just met crosses into the attraction zone, then they may secretly find you irresistible. Number 2. The sound of seduction. Many people rely on visual cues to understand flirting and attraction, but auditory cues can be equally revealing, especially if someone is hiding their feelings. Studies have shown that our voices change in the company of people we desire. So if someone is attracted to you, you may notice them adjusting the pitch or tone of their voice. There are many reasons why our voices change around attractive people. For example, a man might lower the pitch of his voice to make himself seem stronger and more masculine. Others may change their voices to get attention to seem more desirable or simply because they're nervous. In any case, if you hear people's voices changing, then you're likely more attractive than you think. Number 3. Psychological mirroring. When we meet an attractive person, we tend to copy or mirror their behavior. If they cross their arms, we might cross our arms too. If they lean forward, we might follow suit. Often we do these things unconsciously, as if our bodies are moving on their own. But here's what's really going on. Mirroring is one of the ways that we create familiarity with other people. We copy their speech, their expressions, and their body language because we want them to relate to us. We want to connect with them on a deeper level by developing a sense of closeness and commonality. So if you notice people mirroring your behavior, chances are they're secretly interested in you. Number 4. People don't approach you. Here's a fact that you might not know about attraction. Some of the most beautiful people in the world frequently feel ignored and overlooked. They rarely ever get any romantic attention, which makes them wonder if they're actually attractive at all. Alright, let's break down why this happens. If you're a highly attractive person, people may make certain assumptions about you. They see how desirable you are and they assume that you're constantly showered with compliments and attention. In their mind, you're constantly being swarmed by potential partners, so they don't bother throwing their hat in the ring. But what happens if everyone makes the same false assumption? Well, that's how beautiful people end up feeling ignored. Everyone thinks that they're drowning in compliments, so no one ever wants to make their move. Because no one approaches you, you may think no one's interested, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Number 5. Effortless conversations. Do you have an easy time bonding with new people? Attractive people may have better than average social experiences. They find people to be friendly and kind. Their conversations tend to flow smoothly and easily. They rarely experience awkward silences and they have no trouble keeping their conversations going, but it's not because attractive people are better conversationalists. Their interactions feel effortless because others may be doing the heavy lifting for them. Around attractive people, we tend to put in extra effort. We ask lots of questions and we demonstrate our curiosity. Why? Well, because we want them to like us in the same way we like them. To figure out how attractive you really are, pay attention to the flow of your conversations. If people seem deeply curious about your life, then there's a good chance they're drawn to you. Number 6. The look of love. You can often identify attractive people by watching the direction of people's eyes. We have an unconscious tendency to stare at the people we desire. We may try to look away, yet our gaze keeps drifting back to those we desire most. If you're a secretly attractive person, you may be accustomed to people looking at you. When you look back, they may quickly turn their heads, pretending to look at something else. But it doesn't take long before their eyes drift back to you. Why? Because they secretly desire you more than anyone. Number 7. The humor bias. Studies show that attractive people aren't any funnier than the rest of us, yet they easily make people laugh or smile. Almost everything they say receives a positive reaction. Even if they make a stupid joke, the world seems to find them hilarious. Our brains are biased toward attractive people. We assume that they're funnier than they are simply because we find them irresistible. So if you're a secretly attractive person, a similar experience may have happened to you before. People may laugh at everything you say, even if it's not funny. You wonder if you've got a great sense of humor. The truth may be that you're more attractive than you realize. Number 8. Social magnetism. Attractive people possess a special kind of social magnetism. People don't just want to be closer to you, they want to be more like you. So they end up copying the things you do, chasing after you like a shadow stuck to their feet. If you walk into another room, they follow. If you sit down at a table, others rush to your side. As an attractive person, you may feel like a trendsetter. You may notice others pulled into your natural gravity, following in your footsteps. If you ever feel like a social magnet, everyone may already know how irresistible you are. Number 9. The talent show. Have you ever talked to someone who continuously bragged about their achievements? They boast about how much money they make or what car they drive. They name-drop high-profile people as if those names are going to win you over. You may think that they're arrogant or entitled, but there may be another reason that people are bragging around you. Many people get nervous and insecure around those they find attractive. They want people like you to appreciate and pay attention to them. Why? Well, because everyone knows how great and attractive you already are. Around you, people feel like they have something to prove. They may start bragging just to even the playing field. They talk a big game, but the truth is that you make them insecure. No matter how much they show off their talents, they'll always be more impressed by you. Number 10. Sharing their status. Here's a common sign of attraction that many people overlook. If you're an attractive person, people may go out of their way to share their relationship status. They say things like, "I'm so single right now," or "I don't even think about my ex anymore." Comments like these advertise their availability. People want you specifically to know that they're single because you're someone they find attractive. Like many of the signs on this list, context is very important here. For example, if someone is upset about a past relationship, sharing their current status may not signify anything romantic. On the other hand, if someone tells you multiple times how single they are, they may be secretly interested in you. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.